We don't expect Israel to kind of to settle down in Gaza. Their objective is just to change. And the Prime Minister Netanyahu has said it clearly that the only reason why I will stop this bombardment, I will agree to ceasefire, is if they release the hostages. Hamas will not want to release all the hostages because Hamas knows that if he does release all the hostages, there will be nothing to bargain. There will be nothing to negotiate with the Israelites. And right now, the rate at which Israel is bombarding Gaza, they've crumbled Gaza economically, politically, in every aspect. And now, you know what? There's a lot of diplomacy playing around the back. When Hamas realized that it looks as if this war is beyond what we thought, they expected so much support from Hezbollah, but unfortunately, they didn't get that support that they were expecting. So what is happening right now is that Hamas is facing this battle all alone. Everybody is just, though they are getting arms, they were prepared enough for arms, but they thought that immediately they attacked Israel, Hezbollah will come in, and the Houthis have tried their best, the Houthi from Yemen, and there's a lot of geopolitics happening in that area. You need to also understand that the Houthis are not in good terms with the Saudis. The Saudis are attacking the Houthis, the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and Yemen is divided into two. The government there is supported by Saudi. The Houthi rebels are supported by Iran. They are giving them funds, they are training them and all that. And that's why Israel had to attack Aleppo airport and attack the Houthis, because the Houthis in Yemen are already striking Israel. But all these things are economic politics, because there's also gas in Syria. So you need to understand, when you see powerful nations, and that's why I'm afraid for Africans, this one that we are playing into the hands of China. What China is going to do for Africa will be more disastrous than what the Western world has done to Africa. The Africans came to colonize, they will put a representative. No, that's not what they are going to do. What China is going to do is that, if you observe, they will begin to marry your women, marry your men, and begin to procreate babies. Those babies are going to be trained and indoctrinated in China and come back to rule you, and they will begin to deliver your resources, African resources, into the hands of China. And China is going to tell you, if you don't do this, if you go to Gambia, there are some things that are happening in Gambia, Zambia, and all those, Namibia, around those sides, those places that they have borrowed them money and they are unable to pay. China is even establishing what I call police stations in some African nations. Why will you have to do that? Do you see what we are saying? So there's a lot of geopolitical power. Africa has a role to play, and Africa has to be careful. My advice to Africa, all African nations, and particularly the moral lesson to learn there, that this battle that is happening within the Western world and the Middle East and the Asian tigers, Africa should not be involved. Let them play their game. This is time that African leaders should go back home, develop their economy, and be a trader to both of them. Because now what the Arab nation or the Middle East used to use to threaten the Western world is gas and oil. Now these people are discovering gas and oil in different places. Even in the European nation, there are many places that they've discovered gas, and they are even looking at the alternative to gas, to oil, and they are developing their gas, and they are looking at technology that will help them reduce their consumption of gas, but they must definitely be consuming gas. It has been predicted by 2050, the total gas consumption in Europe will be around 170 billion cubic or to 120 billion cubic. So Israel is very pivotal in this battle. Even though a lot of Western nations don't know the agenda of Israel, Israel is fighting to become the economic powerhouse of of the Middle East, while the Iranian, Turkey, the Turks, they are fighting too, that no, Israel cannot do that. So, but they are not revealing this to us. They are not revealing this to us. So, just like you interfering in the battle between Russia and China and America, you are making a big mistake taking side with any one of them. And that's where a lot of African leaders need to be orientated. A lot of them are siding with China. If Israel actually achieved this, and you can see that a lot of Western world, you see, they've abandoned Ukraine to their faith, because Ukraine is becoming irrelevant in economic perspective. It is Africa that needs Ukraine, that needs Ukraine's grains. It is Africa. The Western world have enough grains, and that's why another country that you must respect their level of diplomacy is India. India is careful. They are not taking side with anybody, because they understand that at the end of the day, the economy, if a lot of resources apart from gas has been discovered in Israel, and that's why you see Egypt is also careful. Lebanon is careful. All these people understand because they too have some portion of gas that they want to trade with Israel. They want to collaborate. Western companies have been going there to establish their industries there in the exploration of this gas. I read about a man, John Brown or something, I've forgotten his full name, from US. He said 39 years ago, God told him to go to Israel and start doing exploration. He didn't achieve anything, he didn't discover oil. And instead, God told him the exact place he was going to get that oil. In the household of Manasseh. So I don't want to go into that. I don't want to be biblical here or trying to be spiritual, but I'm just trying to give you a global perspective. If Israel gets away in achieving this Gaza, because a lot of Arab nations are reluctant, a lot of the Houthis, the countries that are surrounding Israel, the closest country around Israel, the Iran is ready to sponsor them, but they are weighing the consequences that at the end of the day, when attack comes, it is we who will feel the brunt. So there's a bit of reluctance in the Arab nations. And don't forget that Iran is not Arab, neither is the Turkish Arabs. So the Middle East politics is very dicey. It's dangerous. They don't have the interest of the people at heart. They are fighting for economic, geopolitical power. If Israel get away with that, the next agenda of Israel, and that's why this war doesn't seem as if it's going to end very soon. The war that will end very soon or quickly or speedily is the war between Russia and Ukraine. And that depends on if Donald Trump is able to win the election. I can assure you that Donald Trump is going to give his full support, more than the support that Joe Biden is giving to Israel. And in doing that, he will quickly go and resolve that of Ukraine, because the US has spent over $75 billion funding the Ukraine war. So for how long are you going to continue doing that? You cannot continue doing that. You need to stop that and concentrate on this and prepare for China's incursion into Taiwan. So when you see people talking about, there's a lot of hypocrisy in religion, both religions. If these people say they are really fighting in the interest of Islam, why do you have more poor nations? Why do you have poor Muslim nations? The rich nations, why are they not really helping? Why have they left Palestine in such amount of poverty? But they always want to use them to fight Israel. Hatred and bitterness and conquest of territory is the agenda. Make no mistake. And this is going to widen beyond our expectation. This is going to go further than we can imagine. Israel is not going to relinquish. It's going to ensure that, and that's why I say Israel is going rogue. Even if US is checking them, they are not responding, because Netanyahu knows what is pursuing, that he must establish the global economic power. He must be the global economic power relevance in Middle East. They already have the military, so they must do it. They are going rogue. They are not going to listen to anybody at this moment until they achieve it. And they stamp out Hamas, because if they don't stamp out Hamas, it will be difficult to carry out that gas exploration. Hamas will begin to bomb pipelines, will begin to, you know how they attack them, and it's going to hamper the economic flow, because it is said that Israel is going to be making billions of dollars yearly in this trade. And now the question is, why are the Western world, even though they are divided, but those that are sticking strongly, go and check Germany, Spain is even outside now. Why? The industrialized nations of Western world, they are strongly behind Israel. They need that gas. And one assured thing they have is that the reason why US and this Western world are sure is that, look, if they stand by Israel, by the time Israel starts this exploration, they have the power and influence to tell Israel, don't sell to anybody, sell to us alone. And that will reignite and that will revive the strength of the Western world. And I tell you, the likelihood that Chinese economy will crumble is high. And that's why that is where Chinese also will be drawn into this war. That is where China will be drawn into this war. So this war is going to divide the world into two. You are going to see Iran. You are going to see, what do you call it? You are going to see Turkey. You are going to see, these are major players. You are going to see China. They are going to come together. And foolishly of South Africa, I don't know what's the business of South Africa. Because if you want to say you are supporting China also in getting involved in this Palestinian war based on the interest of, how would I call it, on the perception of BRICS, then you are stupid. Or if your justification is that, why is Israel attacking Palestine or trying to take over their land, then why are you not criticizing or blaming Russia? Why are you saying we don't want to have all these things? South Africa is stupid, because they seem not to understand what is happening. They will just use them as a pawn, and by the time this war starts, Israel will deal with them, and the Western world will support Israel. Right now, you look at the way Israel is running it. Israel is concentrating strictly on clearing Hamas. When Hezbollah is misbehaving, they are just pushing them away. By the time they finish, they will go back to the West Bank. And their second agenda is to take over the Alaska mosque, the Alaska mosque. They want to take over Jerusalem because there are some mineral resources that are also deposited in Jerusalem. In one of my upcoming videos, I will tell you the issue, that the incident. And that is what is going to spill into the Third World War. Because even many nations that are supporting Israel will have to say, no, this is not what we agreed. But Netanyahu has an agenda that he wants to. They want to build back the temple. And that temple cannot be built in that same place. Because if you go to that Jerusalem, you realize that there's a lot of places. But in my next video, on one of my coming video, I'm going to explain better about this. But watch out and see the way the politics is going. I can tell you Israel has gone rogue. They are not going to retrieve. They are not going to retreat, rather, from Gaza. And they've divided Gaza into the south and into the north. The northern part of Gaza is facing them totally. They can have full control, total control, without sharing border with anybody. And that's why. And nobody, no country in the world will do that. They are prepared for Iran. They are prepared for Turkey. Forget about the numbers of soldiers. Those countries are very powerful militarily. But it will be difficult for them to invade Israel or to come from the distance if you look at the map. So, this is an opportunity for Nigeria. And this is my advice for Nigeria. Nigeria has an opportunity to tap into this. Play our diplomacy appropriately. Don't stay with China. Don't stay with America. Don't stay with anybody. Be a friend to all. And sell and seize this opportunity to develop our economy. So I see, I want to, this is an opportunity, like I've said. But it must be properly harnessed. So Israel is going rogue. It is seriously going rogue. Not even the US. And they will go more rogue if Donald Trump wins the election. They will go more rogue. But don't worry. Watch out for my upcoming video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our video. This is the way you can help us and support us. Please encourage us more to also give you all this balance of power and African perspective to what is happening in the global polity and economy. Thank you very much, and God bless you.